ಹಲೋ ಗಾಯ್ಸ್, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಟ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್. ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಹೊಸಬರಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಚಾನಲ್ನ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೂ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೌರ್ಯನ್ ಎಂಪೈರ್ಸ್.
The Mouryan Empire started from Magadha, was founded in 321 BC by Chandragupta Maurya. Pataliputra, the modern-day Patna, was the capital city of Mouryan Empire. It's a Mouryan Empire starting stage. They occupied places in northern India. Later, they occupied some parts of southern India and eastern and western India.
Day by day, they occupied many places in northern India and also in southern India. The strongest rulers like Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka and Bindusara, they occupied mostest land in the northern India. Mouryan Empire was one of the world's largest empires of that time and expanded to an area of 50 lakh square kilometers. It's one of the strongest empire in the world. Emperors: Chandragupta Maurya ruled up to 322 to 298 BC and Bindusara ruled up to 298 to 272 BC. Then most strongest ruler Ashoka ruled up to 268 BC to 232 BC and Dasharatha ruled up to 232 to 224 BC. Later the Dasharatha, the Samprati, is ruled up to 224 to 215 BC and Shalishuka ruled up to 215 to 202 BC. Then the rulers, the later Brihadrata was ruled up to 187 to 180 BC. He is the last ruler of the Mauryan dynasty. He is assassinated by his commander-in-chief Pushyamitra Shunga. Then we saw about the timeline of Mauryan Empire.
The time between the 350 BC to 275 BC, it's the life of Kautilya, Indian statesman and philosopher, chief advisor and prime minister of the Indian Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. Chanakya, he is the teacher of Chandragupta Maurya, and Chandragupta Maurya was the first ruler of Mauryan Empire. He started rule up to 340 BC to 298 BC. It's the life of Indian Emperor Chandragupta Maurya, first ruler of the Mauryan Empire. In 322 BC, Chandragupta Maurya founded the Mauryan Empire by overthrowing the Nanda dynasty. After overthrowing the Nanda dynasty, the Chandragupta Maurya built the empire called Mauryan Empire. He ruled up to 329 BC to 297 BC, region of Chandragupta Maurya, first ruler of the Mauryan Empire.
In 320 BC, Chandragupta Maurya seizes the throne of Magadha and expands the kingdom over northern and central India.
In the time between the 320 BC to 180 BC, Mauryan rule in the Gandhara region, beginning with Chandragupta Maurya. In the time between the 317 BC to 316 BC, Chandragupta Maurya conquers the northwest of the Indian subcontinent the 305 BC, Emperor Chandragupta Maurya signs a treaty with Seleucus, first establishing borders and giving the Punjab to Chandragupta in return for 400 war elephants. Time between the 305 to 303 BC, Chandragupta Maurya gains a territory from the Seleucid Empire. In 298 BC, Chandragupta voluntarily abdicates the throne in favor of his son Bindusara. He turned into an ascetic and follower of Jainism, migrated south and starved himself to death. BC to 273 BC, region of Bindusara, the second ruler of the Mouryan Empire. BC to 269 BC, region of Bindusara, Chandragupta's son, he conquers 4 parts of Deccan, southern India. In 273 BC to 236 BC, region of Ashoka, third ruler of the Mouryan Empire. To 232 BC, the Mouryan Empire reaches its height under Ashoka, Chandragupta's grandson. In 268 BC, Ashoka becomes emperor of the Maurya dynasty in India. In 262 BC, Ashoka conquers Kalinga. The bloodshed makes him remorseful and he turns towards non-violence. In 250 BC, Ashoka builds Buddhist stupas and erects pillars bearing inscriptions. In 232 BC, Indian ruler Ashoka dies and the Maurya Empire declines. After the death of Ashoka, in 184 BC, the empire collapses when Brihadrata, the last emperor, is killed by Pushyamutra Shunga, a Mauryan general and the founder of the Shunga Empire.
अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छे लगे तो लाइक कमेंट जरूर करना. I will tell about Mouryan Empire important points in next video.